that merger is going to have a long-term effect on New Bern's ability to buy power. It's going to have a long-term effect on a lot of cities' ability to buy power. We have to figure out how it's going to affect New Bern. Everybody's worried about their electric bills. I get calls, each one of us gets calls from people saying, hey look, I have a $900 electric bill. We ran on the platform of helping to lower, or finding ways to lower electric bills. This is a historic opportunity for not only New Bern, but for each one of the electric cities out there to have a direct impact. This is the best chance we've had in what, 30 years? Since this thing was, since the inception of this, to effectuate a change, to effectuate lower rates. We have, and we're going to have a frank discussion about it because it's that serious.
Where do we get our power? Who is Electricities? What is an account by? Why do we join the power agency? Where does the money from electric bills go? Can we get out of the contracts with the power agency? What is the city doing to help people lower their bills? And the last one is the latest news on electric consumption and electric rates. Why are we in the electric business? Well, the city of New Bern got into being an electric utility, as many other cities did, basically to provide street lighting for safety for its persons that live within the city. So back in 1901, we actually started putting together a system. We hired engineers to design it, and the first things that we put in were 62 arc lights that were in downtown. We have two different agreements with that power agency. One is the initial purchase agreement, where we bought into 4 power plants back in 1981. The other is the supplemental power supply agreement. The difference between the two is, one is we bought a generation asset, we get a certain output from that. The supplemental power supply agreement.
When you were doing your presentation, can we get out of the power agency? That's the question that I've been asked a million times. Each one of you has been asked that a million times, and the answer has always been no. We can't get out of the power agency. And now to so we have to understand the historic nature of this Duke in progress. This changes a lot of things. I'm sitting here looking at the News and Observer online. This is what Duke in Progress have said. It says that the merger is going to be a boon to shareholders and customers alike, saying the bigger company will be better positioned to build nuclear plants, boost stock value, and manage electric costs. The benefit to shareholders will come over time as the company trims operating costs and is allowed to borrow capital at lower interest rates. You know what it doesn't say? It doesn't say anything about New Bern. It doesn't say anything about electric cities. It says shareholders are going to get a better deal. It says shareholders' electric rates are going to come down. It says the combined company will be better for them. So when the question that we have, and nobody knows the answer to this, but the question now has become, when you ask, and I think this is what we all have to understand, and do this in a respectable, level-headed way, the answer to your question, can we get out of the power agency, has gone from a no, black and white, carved in stone, no, to maybe, if we play our cards right. And that's what I think that this board needs to understand right now. I'm not saying that it's a maybe. Does that mean a 1% chance? Does that mean a 51% chance? But any chance to lower the electric bills for our citizens is worth going after, and it's worth having discussions about. And I know each one of these board members is chomping at the bit right now to get their opinion on it. And it ranges the scope from I'm not going to speak for the Aldermen, but there's a diverse range of opinions on how to go about doing it. What we do know is that we have to do something. Duke in Progress have touted the merger as a boon to shareholders and customers. They're all benefiting. Guess what? It's time for New Bern and the 32 electric cities to benefit.
There's some possibility we might be successful. We can get everything stable.
Well put. Exactly how to try. we're gonna formulate that with, with John, with Mr. Epperson, with the other cities, and with the advice of, all the input from all of the aldermen. Anybody else?
I think the times of essence. I think we move now, and I think that we've got to get the other cities on board. Many are more powerful than one, but I'm all for going forward. I'm all for talking to electric cities and saying this is where we're at. We need to find a way to cut our rates, and the only way we're going to do that is to settle the debt. So we go with our most powerful tool, and that is, oppose the merger in order to settle the debt. I hope that's the message you'll bring.
Oppose the merger to settle the debt. Anybody else?
John, what about the people that we have appointed to represent us to sit on the committees? What type of information have they been bringing back to the board, to you, to help us to sort of govern? What has happened? Is it that they wasn't bringing the information back to us accurately? How did we just develop it? Because it is really, it's out of control. Was other people effective at all? Serving?
At this point, from the time that the news of the merger came out, the CEO of Electric Cities has been communicating with the commissioners by email, basically asking them to give him until this commissioners meeting that we're going to attend tomorrow to lay out what his plan is for addressing the merger of Duke and Progress Energy.
I'll be the first one to jump on a horse, grab a whatever, and joust at a windmill. Believe me, if we have to go it alone, I'll lead the charge. I'm no stranger to that. So, but if that's the way it is, fine. I'll mount that horse. We'll maneuver and mount the horse collectively, and we'll charge it alone. But I'd rather find out who's going to be with us first, so that we don't have to.
I'm here with Mayor Lee Bettis in New Bern, North Carolina, and Mr. Mayor, I understand tomorrow you're going on a very special trip.
That is true. Tomorrow I'm going to the electric cities. One of the things that we are going to ask for in the merger between Duke Power and Progress Energy is that, in no uncertain terms, we would like Duke Power, Progress Energy to buy out the debt of the Eastern Carolina Municipal Power Authority, buy out all our debt, get us out of the electric business, and let us be Progress or Duke Power Company customers. That's what we want.